Good afternoon, everyone. We are reading from our usual book, Strength for the Day, and the title of our lesson today is The Invisible Door. Our key text is taken from Psalm 34, verse 7. For the angel of the Lord is a guard, he surrounds and defends all who fear him. When I was a little girl in Rio Grande do Sul, Brazil, I had an experience that strengthened my faith and confirmed that God's promises never fail. We were a large family, and because of the scarce resources and financial hardship, my mother sent me to work in another family's house, taking care of their children and helping with the household chores. In this way, I was able to afford to go to school. My boss developed some liver issues due to heavy drinking. So the family called in some people to get rid of the health problems and the evil forces causing them. They met together in the living room, and then each of them walked through every room in the house as they performed the strange ritual, claiming it would take the evil away. When they came toward the kitchen, where I was washing dishes, they could not enter. 3 times they tried to walk into the room, and all 3 times they fell back as if they had hit a glass door. One of the men told the lady of the house that there was a greater spirit in the kitchen and that they were not allowed to enter while I was there. She then made me move to another room, and they were finally able to walk into the kitchen. Even though I was too young and innocent to fully understand what had happened there that day, I wondered why. After such a clear demonstration of God's power, my employers did not ask about my God instead of submitting their family to a lesser power. As I grew up in the knowledge of God, I felt so grateful because I knew He had sent His angels to protect me from Satan's forces that day. Even though I had not known to ask Him for His protection, He did it for me. I cherish this special promise. If you remain faithful, even when facing death, I will give you the crown of life. Revelation 2 verse 10. Aren't you glad you follow this loving God? He promises that if we remain faithful, whatever the cost, He will send His angels to be with us. Our God is faithful and His love endures forever. Eva Kluanais Kapitar. I have indeed been encouraged and strengthened for the day. How many times has God put angels in position to keep us from harm and danger, whether it be in the physical realm or in the spiritual realm? I think simply to times when we go to bed at night. We don't know what's happening around us. Sleep is a temporary form of death. There's so much happening in the spiritual realm. And the Lord has put at our bedsides angels to fight off the angel of death, to fight off demonic forces of darkness that are wrestling for our lives, wrestling for our souls. That to me is one of many instances where God has put His angels strategically in position to protect us. I know when we head out to work or school, sometimes we're not even thinking that a car, a vehicle, whatever it is, could just run into us, and that's it. The Lord has put His angels in position to prevent any casualties, any freak accidents from happening. We have to be grateful that we have a God that is always present in our lives. He will never leave us nor forsake us. No matter how small or big the situation is. And so we have to constantly be in prayer. We have to be constantly asking God to dispatch His angels to surround us and to keep us from all harm and danger. Sometimes you will notice that individuals may be hot and cold with you for whatever reason. I don't even pay them any mind at this point. I just ask God to protect me from any negativity, because you don't know if that person is battling a mental health disorder or even is demon possessed. And so you have to constantly ask God to form that edge of protection around you, that that individual doesn't attack you, whether it be physically or emotionally or even with their disposition. That has happened to me many times, and I simply just say a prayer for that person. I get out of their space. I don't have any confrontations with that individual or individuals because it's pointless. As the scripture reminds us, we're not fighting against flesh and blood. It's a spiritual warfare. And so, pardon people for their behavior. I don't know why I'm talking about people, but I know that we have to interact with individuals on a daily basis, and some persons are more unbearable than others. And there's a reason for that. Maybe the enemy is using them as a weapon against you, to cripple your faith, to cripple your journey. And so we have to ask God to have His angels surrounding us, that no matter what comes our way, it has to be deflected. It has to be reflected, because there's no evil that can pass the perimeter fence that the angels have created around us. And so just like this author who experienced God's power, His protection from evil. She was so young, but He still was covering her. And so we have to pray for our children, pray for our relatives, pray for the vulnerable amongst us, because they too, we all need God's protection. So I hope that you've been encouraged. I hope that you have been strengthened for today, and that we will all recognize that we need God's protection from physical harm and spiritual harm. God bless. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you again tomorrow.